Israel has approved a long-awaited ceasefire deal with Hamas. 50 Israeli hostages set to be released as Gaza is given a brief reprieve.
A temporary truce in a devastating war. Israel agreeing to a partial ceasefire with Hamas. Under the deal, Hamas is set to free 50 women and children held hostage in Gaza across a 4-day pause in fighting in exchange for 150 Palestinian prisoners. For every 10 additional hostages released after that, the ceasefire will be extended by 1 day. The complex negotiations mediated by Qatar and US spy chiefs marks the first truce in the war since Hamas's deadly attack on Israel more than 6 weeks ago.
All things considered, it looks to be a rather good deal. In war, there's never good and bad. It's always different levels of inconvenience and bad choices.
As part of the deal, 300 aid trucks will be allowed into Gaza each day, carrying medical supplies and fuel for the hospitals. Ground and air attacks will come to a halt, a brief reprieve for Gaza after weeks of unrelenting bombardment.
While the news and the announcement today is obviously going to allow much needed aid to get in, it won't be at the quantum and the scale that we know is needed.
And the deal doesn't mean the end of the deadly war.
There is idle talk outside, as if after the truce to return our abductees, we will stop the war. So I would like to make it clear, we are at war, and we will continue the war.
The first release of hostages is expected on Thursday after 47 days in captivity.
Believe me, it's a nightmare. If you all have families and kids, just imagine one day one of them's gone. Just gone.
For the families of those held captive, finally a glimmer of hope.
She must be saying every day, "Where's my daddy? Where's my daddy? Why isn't he coming to save me?" It must be going through her head all the time. Where's Daddy?
Israeli expert Nurit Elon is from the Hostages and Missing Families Forum in Australia and is with us now. Nurit, this feels like a really significant moment. Are you optimistic?
It's a great moment. We are very optimistic. Of course, you know, it will only happen when it happens, and then it will be confirmed. But it's a really great first step. But we need to remember there are 240 hostages, and we are now discussing 50.
Indeed. And so this deal only covers women and children as a starting point. There are still men there. Also, there are soldiers who are being held, and you'd think they both are kind of in a different category to women and children. Do you think in the long run we will see all 240 released?
That's my prayer and hope. We really want to see each and every one of them safe home. It is, however, important to remember that it's not a government that we're dealing with, it's a terror organization. It took a very long time to come to that. We are now in day 47, and we're just hopeful, really hopeful.
Nira, you have a close friend who has family held hostage. Can you describe what they're going through at the moment, what it's been like for them?
Yeah, well, it's so hard. We can't even imagine, you know, although I speak to them quite often, we can't really imagine, you know. They don't know what's happening to them. They don't know the condition. They don't know how healthy they are or whether they are even alive, where they are, what's happening to them.
Obviously, the families as well, they don't know if their loved ones will be the ones being released. How tough do you think that is?
It's extremely hard. Look, we're very hopeful that the children will be released. These are the rumors. Obviously, no one knows everything, but these are the rumors. Children in captivity is horrific, you know, only the thought of it. So obviously, we're hoping to see them coming in the first go. But regardless, you know, it's we're just praying for each and every one of them.
So given that you don't know where the hostages are exactly, you don't know their state, what you do know, or what you can see, is Israel's bombardment of Gaza, which has been really ferocious. Has there been any part of you that's been worried that the hostages have been caught up in that in the same way that other civilians in Gaza have been?
Of course. Of course. Look, we need to remember that at the end, on the 6th of October, there was a ceasefire. 7th of October, the most horrific, horrendous things happen, you know. It was 1,400 people that were murdered in the most terrible ways. And then some got, obviously, being kidnapped and got hostage. So we really, when someone starts a war, it's a war. Innocent people get hurt. Innocent people get in between. Yes, we don't know whether all the hostages are alive. We don't know what's happening to them. The Red Cross were not allowed to visit them. So we're only hopeful.
Neera, thank you very much for your time tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.